this is Crackhouse. Thank you very much for doing this, guys. Thank you very much. So, this is just a little overview of the band. So if you can tell me how you guys got started, if there was any lineup changes or anything like that. So start at the beginning.
Alright, so since the beginning, the band, I think the beginning of the band it's 2 years ago, and we had the first bassist, and then Nassim joined us at bass maybe 3 months ago. Yes, after we record our album. So now we have an EP and an album. So now it's a tour for this album with June. So we're really happy to be here, and we have like a month of tour with him in Europe, because we're French, so we started in France with him, and then we came to Germany, to Netherlands, and now we are here in Scotland.
Cool, man. Getting all the bases loaded then. So, can you tell us who your influences are musically, what bands that you like, where your sound came from?
For this project, I think it's we all wanted to have like a mix between doom and sludge. Essentially, with a little part of stoner, because we come from stoner at the beginning, and we still like it. And the band we used to listen, and the band influencing us are like Yob, I think, and Black Cobra, these kind of things. For the part which has a really more brittle. What band do we listen to? Yeah, Neurosis a lot too. I think it's this kind of thing, like between sludge, post-hardcore, and sludge and doom. Yes.
Cool. So, how do you guys refine your music? Do you do it on the road and then like get little parts and put it together, or do you just go straight into the practice space and then do it that way, more refined, to get everyone together?
It started with Jibus and me. We were at the beginning of the band, so we played in another band before, so we are used to play together, and
so you know how each other plays.
Yeah, it's really easy to play together. So it was really simple to compose a lot of this album. So it's I think it's practicing.
So it's becoming more natural.
Yeah, it's really natural, completely, like jamming, and finding some riffs, some energy, and this kind of stuff. And then when we have to take more time for a part which is more, I think, complicated.
Yeah, a bit more technical.
Yeah, more technical. We have to meet us just in another way, just in his flat, in my flat, and that's the way we can find all the technical stuff.
So, production side, do you use other people to record, or do you guys record as well? Like, how do you get the music?
No, we just it's really classic. We just made our song just in our room, and then we came to a studio just to record it. We find a good guy, which is Hybrid Studio in Paris. A guy who records more black metal usually, but it does some doom too, and we meet this guy for the first EP, and he did a really great job. So we came naturally to his studio for the album.
Okay. Cool. So I must ask as well, you've got one of the best names for a band. Where did it come from? Why? Anything to do with that? Like, please tell me.
For the name.
For the name.
Oh, the name, it's. I think it's so simple and so stupid too. It's just because we love stoner at the beginning. Yeah. And at the beginning, this project, the only word it was to do music, like this kind of stuff, like Bongzilla, Bong Ripper, all these kind of things, really psychedelic with a lot of weed and beers, and our first room to practice was like a shitty room, where we had a lot of fun, and it was our own crack house.
Yeah.
So it was really simple to to name our band like this, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I also need to put a spotlight on the artwork that you guys
Yes.
put on your stuff. It's amazing. It's some of
thank
my
you.
favorite
Thanks,
art. So, do you collaborate with
Yes.
people, and who might that be?
Yeah, it's simple too because for the album, the girl who made all the artwork is my girlfriend. So it's simple. She's a tattoo artist, and she loves Doom too and all this kind of stuff. You know, like really the alchemy, this kind of stuff.
Occult sort of looking
Yeah,
things.
yeah, a lot of occults, and she does all the time. This is what she does. So it was really simple. She loved our music, and she loved the subject we're talking about. So it was really simple. We just
But it's
her.
so pointed. You can tell what's the style
Yeah.
of music
Yeah,
on the CD by just looking at the artwork. So I always ask the bands, and your stuff is amazing.
thank you, thanks a lot. Yeah.
So, with Crackhouse now, you were talking about the tour that's coming to a close now. So what's the future? Are we going to get another album, or are you just going to keep touring?
Yeah, so at the end of the week, this tour is over, and we have several gigs in France, but we'll start composing a new album. We have another tour which is not. It's still organizing, but in maybe May we should play again for this album, like France, Switzerland, and Germany and Italy. We'll play with a really good band which is called Atomic Trip. Okay. It's the new band of the guys from Cult of Occult.
Oh,
Great doom band, really heavy. So we'll tour with them just for maybe 2 weeks. So it will be great. It will start in May.
Okay.
Yes. And then maybe the summer, maybe festivals if we're lucky, and then a new album, a new tour, and.
So push from here all the way out. So I always ask bands when I get this on, is there any bands that you've seen on tour or you personally go and see that needs a shout out? People that might not have heard of them, or just up and coming bands that you've played with that are good. So anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Sorry, I'm sure.
So to introduce the people
Yes.
to another band, is there any other bands that you have played with which are good that you need to enlighten people?
Yeah, to enlighten people, but I think the best meeting we've done musically was with Jim.
Yeah.
You know, because they're really good guys. It was really simple to play with them, so that's a real good experience for us.
Yeah, they are so committed to what they're doing as well.
It was really easy, you know. Since after maybe 1 or 2 days, it was like this. Like we had always known this guy, you know. It was really easy, really simple, really friendly. So it's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for doing the interview.
Appreciate it.
We'll get this up in the next few weeks, and it was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.